Yeah, it was an amazing match from both sides, and I held my concentration extremely well, and my level was high. The atmosphere was so good, a lot of fun, and I was really impressed with Nico's attitude. He came to compete every point, and yeah, could have won it in straight sets there, but credit to him. But really proud about my attitude and stayed so tough throughout the whole match. So I think that was the difference.
Just here first. Yep.
Hi Cam.
Hey.
I remember you talked to us in Paris on your run there that you were playing vintage Norrie tennis, 7 out of 10 for 4.5 hours. So it was 4.5 hours today. But would you give yourself a bit more than a 7 out of 10 or?
I would, yeah. It was a bit higher than 7 out of 10. I did a lot of things well. My first ball was probably the best thing I did after my serve. Didn't miss many, and was kept him moving. And I think in that fifth set, I was keeping him off balance in some moments, especially that 2-love game, with that really long game. I did well there, but the level was high from both. He served unbelievably well. I managed my service games well. He was really good off the ground. He found fire with his backhand in that fourth set. But yeah, definitely higher than a 7 out of 10 for
How
sure.
mentally tiring is it to hold serve? I mean, you held serve the whole match. How tiring is it to do that against a guy like that?
For sure, yeah, for sure. It was something I wanted to really do before the match, and I didn't want to let his game style kind of get me frustrated, when he's serving lots of aces and nothing kind of happening in the match, and then suddenly he's playing some really good points. So I wanted to stay fired up and really enjoy all aspects of the match. If it's a cheap point, I was enjoying it. If it was a long rally, I was enjoying it. If I had a forehand winner, I was enjoying it, and I wanted to keep that energy high and not really let. Obviously, he served 46 aces in the match, and I didn't want to let that bother me, and I think that's how he can frustrate players. And he's such a good player when he's playing with confidence, and when he's serving like that, and when he's playing like that off the ground, moving that well. So for me, it was a really, really competitive match, and I enjoyed all of it, and I love the way he competes.
Simon.
Well played, Cam. Obviously, the conversation underneath the chair at the end was a bit unusual. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I think it's a big match, and for both of us, we really wanted to win the match, and yeah, I think it was obviously frustrating for him to lose, and I just told him, man, that was unbelievable level. You competed so well, and I loved the way you kind of responded, and it was such a good match, and the atmosphere was really good, and I think he just said I was being a little bit too vocal, but I was aiming directly at my team and pulling from the crowd. The atmosphere of the court was so good, but honestly, I was nothing but credit to Nico for his performance, and to see him, not only playing at that level, seeing him enjoying his tennis and coming through qualies so easily and chopping guys. So I wish him all the best, and I guess we both really wanted to win. It was a huge match, so I can understand where he's coming from. But yeah.
There was also a bit where he complained to Eva about, said is he allowed to have that much time before the second serve? Because he said he didn't know the rule.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed that he kind of took 23 bounces at one point between his first and second. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't. Yeah, at one point, I thought he was maybe a little bit tight on that second serve, and it's okay. For me, I wanted to take my time on the second serve and making sure that I'm getting myself ready to set. I was not doing nothing. I'm not sure. I actually didn't even notice he was upset with that. And yeah, I want to settle before I hit my second serve. I don't want to rush into it and hit a quick double. That was kind of what I'm doing with my second serve, and I want to play the point. And typically I have to play a long point. If I'm hitting a second serve, I have to be ready for sure.
Hello, Cam. I don't think I've ever seen you flop on the ground. Sandy, correct me if I'm wrong. After a match, now was that indicative of the fact that this means that it probably means a bit more to you than maybe in 2022, when given you the injuries you've had to overcome this time round?
Yeah, you're right. I've never fell to the floor in a match, and I think it was just how tough it was to get there. I was playing unreal, knocking on the door in the third set. He played well tie break, then tie break again. He played well. I had the tie break a little bit, I had to fight through, and I was up a break, and yeah, I had break point again, and to go 5-1, and then he was fighting back. So it was more just, yeah, even 40 love, I played unreal point. So man, just come on, like shank one out or hit one out, and he was there playing fighting right to the last point, and I had to play another huge point, another good point to win it, and it was almost, yeah, it was a nice moment for myself, and I agree with you that it was definitely feels a little bit better and well more deserved, coming back from the injury and kind of coming back and trying to push back into the top of the game. So yeah, all the hard work and everything just it's paid off. I've been dedicated, professional, and good team around me, and it's these moments it's the icing on the cake. But it was a well deserved fall to the floor, I think.
Well played.
Thanks.
Was there ever a time when playing a big server like that would have pissed you off, would have frustrated you on the court?
Yeah, I think typically with my experience, I think that's how you can lose to those guys. You play a loose game here and there, and you lose your serve, and then suddenly the set's gone away very quickly. And I knew that was going to be the case with the way the match was going to be. So if he played well and if he served well, which he really did. So for sure, in the past, I would have maybe been a bit pissed off and seen, man, these guys serving 46 aces and getting no looks. He hasn't played a loose game. Start to be pissed off or a little bit upset with yourself, and then you can quickly play a couple of loose points on your serve, and then that can be the difference. So I did well with hanging on to my serve.
James.
Well done. You talk about enjoying your tennis and playing point to point. I feel like you also enjoy all parts of a tennis match, whether it's playing the match play, playing the man a little bit. Nicholas, when he was in earlier, said you're very competitive and you know how to use the biggest parts of the match. Can you talk a bit about that? Just the kind of the mano a mano element of tennis. I think you really enjoy that. I
really do, and I really like it's 1v1. The crowd's involved, and the crowd is on my side today. So I really tried to use that, and I wanted to, like I said the other day, I had my friends, my family, my girlfriend there watching, supporting, and I wanted to give everyone something to cheer about. And yeah, there's so many different parts to the game of tennis, with momentum and energy and different moments in the matches with tie breaks, with break points, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying all aspects of it. And actually, I think Nico did an unbelievable job to win those 2 tie breaks in the third and fourth. I had them. I was up a mini break, and I got a little bit tentative on a couple of shots, but he was setting his backhand well, and I think he actually did a really good job managing the moments of the match. And his body language was, I think, as if you're a junior player, I would maybe watch that match and look at his body language, or both of our body languages for the whole match. It was, none of us dropped our heads. We didn't. Nothing negative. It was all positive. He was getting fired up. I was getting fired up. I loved all of it.
Yes, congratulations. I've been told that left-handed players have more benefit when they're playing on the grass. Do you think that's true? And do you also have the idea that right-handed players find it more difficult to read your game?
Yeah, I think for me specifically, my lefty service is quite effective with my backhand as well. It's very low. Coming from that juice side, I think a lot of players aren't used to seeing the ball coming that low. Probably just myself and Manarino are the 2 players that and maybe Bellucci as well, hitting it that low and that cross. So it's a little bit unorthodox. And yeah, I'm trying to use it to my advantage, and Nico was hitting a lot of slice wide on the juice today, a lot of aces as well. But yeah, I was doing my best to use that to my advantage, and I'm happy I'm lefty.
Hi Cam. How does it feel to be the last Brit in the draw? Is that something you even care about?
Not really. I would like to have seen some more guys go deeper. Obviously, we had a lot of wins in the first couple of rounds, but it's good. It's good to have the support, and there was that court one was so loud today, and yeah, I was enjoying my tennis, and yeah, I'm not really caring too much if I'm the last Brit standing or if they're all here. It'll be nice to kind of have a few more to kind of deflect and have lots of people to cheer for. And I think in the years to come, it's going to be the case. And I'm just taking care of my business and really enjoying my tennis at the moment. And it is what it is with that.
It's your best run here in 3 years. You talk a lot about how you're enjoying your tennis. You come across very confident. At what point do you start allowing yourself to dream about going all the way? Are you thinking about it already, or will you not let yourself even that thought cross your mind until you are playing in the final? And just secondly, we heard about your giant-sized lungs at the end of the match tonight. If you could just explain the background to that for the uninitiated, and tell us a bit about how that might have helped you today.
What was the first question again? I got distracted.
At what point will you start allowing yourself to think that you could go all the way?
Yeah, I think it only gets tougher from now. You know, I've played a lot of tough matches already, and it's looking like Alcaraz and Rublev are still playing. Now it only gets tougher, you know, and there's still lots of matches to be played and lots of matches to be won. But I'm going to play point for point as always, and I'm really happy with how I pulled up after the match. My body feels good, and I'm in a good place. I've been, like I said, hitting the ball well, so I'm happy to be through. But I think long way away from that. And yeah, with my lungs, I just randomly did a test, and I think I was in college or one summer, and I did a test, and they were like, "Oh, you must be some like deep sea diver or something. Like we did some tests, and on your lungs they're huge." And I said, "Wow, I didn't even know." I was just like, "Okay," and I think like since then it's just been like huge confidence in my cardio. So I don't know if it must be true, but yeah, I think it just gives me. I can back myself in those longer rallies and everything, and I think it's just kind of a false confidence, but I'll take it.
Okay, Ash from Quality Shop, congrats.
Thanks.
You saved 8 out of 8 break points today. How pleased are you with the way you handled those pressure points?
They were huge. That was the difference in the match, and I think both of us did a really good job saving break points, and he was making a lot of first serves on his ones too, and I had to dig deep. I had to tough all of them out, and yeah, that was huge for me. I gave him absolutely nothing, and yeah, there was I managed to break a couple times, and that was the difference in the match. So